General Robert E. Lee selected this place to be his command post during the Battle of Fredericksburg because it afforded him the best view of the entire battlefield. On December 13th, all of his generals gathered here first thing in the morning. As they all came to be with Robert E. Lee to learn about their plans for the day, the last one to arrive was General Stonewall Jackson. When he showed up on the hill, he was resplendent in a brand new uniform that no one had ever seen before. Jackson was notoriously slovenly in his dressing, so for him to show up in a new uniform turned into quite an event. The generals started to get caught up in the excitement of seeing Stonewall Jackson. They started cracking jokes at his expense, and at one point, General Longstreet even tried to bait him into a conversation. As he pointed into the valley behind me, he said, "Look at all those Union soldiers there. Don't they frighten you?" And Stonewall Jackson rejoined, "Perhaps I'll frighten them." But Longstreet wouldn't let go. He said, "What will you do if all of those troops attack you?" And Jackson very crisply answered, "I'll give them the bayonet, sir," proving that even though you could change his uniform, the man inside was still the same. During the battle, Robert E. Lee probably had the best view of anyone on this entire field. He could see almost the entire southern end of the battlefield without exception. But immediately in front of him was Marie's Heights, which loomed across his front, where you can see the flag. Because the hill stood directly ahead of him, it actually blocked most of his view of this part of the field. Most of the fighting occurred in front of him, but that didn't mean that he was safe. At the height of the battle, Robert E. Lee was almost killed on this position when one of his own cannons exploded. A large piece of the breech literally sailed through the sky and landed squarely between his feet. The general didn't even deign to acknowledge it and continued to watch the battle. During the course of December 13th, there was so much carnage that ensued on the battlefield at Fredericksburg that Lee was deeply affected by the scene. At one point, he turned to General James Longstreet and told him with great feeling, "It's well that war is so terrible, or we would grow too fond of it."